Welcome to a brand new video, and what I want to answer in this video is how many hours does it take to build a successful SMMA? This is a question that I see a bunch of people ask, and I really wanted to have my take on this because the thing that I see, and I feel like a lot of people get disheartened, or a lot of people just get a false image of what entrepreneurship is, of what building an agency is rooted in the fact that a lot of gurus or entrepreneurs are out there bragging about how they're putting in 12-hour work days, 16-hour work days. And so what I've come to realize is that a lot of these people that are saying they put in 12 hours, 16 hours a day, the real question that they should be asking themselves is how many of those hours were deep focused hours, and most importantly, how many of those hours that you put in were high impact hours. Because you can be doing a bunch of stuff, you can be doing a bunch of menial tasks and busy work all day long, but not actually move the needle in your business, right? And that's what a lot of people do, which is really a waste of time, right? Because I could literally spend 4 hours a day of deep focus work, of high impact activities and and revenue generating activities, and get more accomplished and move the needle forward much further in my business than what a lot of people get done in 12-hour, 16-hour days. And so what I want to do in this video is not only cover how many hours you should be putting in to your agency, but also give you some very practical tips that I use to really get into a flow state and to really have an incredibly productive day. The first thing that I want to cover is a lot of people, as I said, a lot of people say that you should work, that you should kill yourself, that you should hustle hard, they should put in 10-hour work days, 12-hour work days. The problem that I see with that, especially if you're just starting out as an entrepreneur, is you haven't built up to that point yet. It'd be like trying to run a marathon without even having trained for it, right? It'd be like trying to run 100K without having run 2K. It's honestly mind-boggling how people are giving this advice. And so what I truly suggest you do is don't have that expectation of going for 10, 12 hours, right? Don't have that expectation of having 12-hour work days. The first few weeks as an entrepreneur, set as your benchmark to just have a day where you put in 4 hours of deep work. And after that, you should really give yourself a pat in the back and just look to build up from there. But don't have the expectation that you can start running a business or start trying to build something for yourself and being able to put 12-hour work days when you haven't even put in a good 2-hour work day. Which is what a lot of people struggle with, right? And so that would be the first thing that I will say. And here are the 3 tips that allow me to get into that flow state and that really allow me to work as effectively as I possibly can without having to work 16 or 18-hour work days, right? Because sleep is a massive component. Also, doing sport is a massive component to productivity. Also, even having a bit of a social life, right? Which sometimes I'm not too good at, but that's also a massive component. And so you don't just want to be stuck in work. You'll probably get even bigger returns. You're actually investing into different areas of your life. But here's the first thing. The first thing is no phone. Absolutely zero, no phone at all. Phone should not only be out of sight and out of reach when you're working, but ideally also, you shouldn't even check it in the morning before you start work. The reason why this is because when you check your phone and you check social media, it puts you in a thought frequency that's very instant gratification. It's not a steady thought frequency. It's distracted, it's high vibration, and it's not the right one to get deep focused work done. So I've actually tried this myself. The stuff that I tell you guys, I've tried myself. And when I check my phone in the morning, maybe I'm checking, whatever, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, even, my notes app, which I use for the gym, my work days are not going to be as effective. They're not going to be as effective. They're not going to be as productive. The second thing is do hard shit. What I mean by that is before you start your workday, you should ideally do something that pushes you to the extreme, that gets you over that flinch, that that fear component that we all have, and it really triggers, it really jumpstarts your day. And so some things that I do, for example, is right after I wake up, I'll have a cold shower, then I'll bike to the gym, which right now is really cold. And so that's another thing. Then I'll also lift very heavy weights, which pushes me to my limit. Then after that, I'll get into a very hot sauna, which also pushes me to my limit. Then after that, I'll also jump into a freezing cold pool. And then after that, I'll get, I'll bike back to my house and I'll meditate. I'm not saying you should have all that. In fact, what I recommend is you build one by one. You build those little habits that push you to your limit, to that extreme, first thing in the day. I recommend you build those up because the reason why they're incredibly effective is because you start accumulating these little wins early on in the day, and these are little wins, but things that really push you, right? And so when you're jumping on a sales call, when you're sending out emails, or even when you're doing you're creating you're filming videos, when you're creating systems, your mind has already gone through a very tough moment, right? And a very tough morning, right? And so everything just seems much easier, and it just, in my experience, it just gives you an incredible jump start. I've tried getting straight to work in the morning right after I wake up, and maybe doing the hard stuff later in the afternoon. What I found is that I'm not as productive. I found that I don't get into the flow state as easily, and so that combination of doing hard shit before you get to work is by far the greatest I've found. And the third thing is gradually build momentum. And this is what a lot of people neglect. They completely disregard the idea of momentum. They think that it's all pretty much steady line productivity, and they should just get to it as soon as you sit at your desk in the morning. And that's completely not true. And you should play with momentum to your advantage. And so what I like to do is the first tasks and the first things that I will do when I sit at my desk are high impact, little effort activities. High impact, little effort, that's the best combination of tasks and activities that you should be doing as soon as you sit at your desk, because your mind, we're wired to take the path of least resistance. And especially when you're just getting the groove of it, you haven't tapped into a flow state yet, your mind does not want to tackle those big tasks that you've got ahead, right? Like, for example, maybe doing 50 cold calls, or I don't know, running some Facebook ads, or big tasks that you have set up for your day. And so what you should do is you should have a number of to-dos that are high impact, that are going to move the needle forward, but they're just pretty much little effort, or they'll take just a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes, just to get you into the groove and just to build that momentum. And once you build that momentum, you're going to be able to carry that forward and be able to tackle the big task of the day. So yeah, that is my take on how many hours you should be working on your agency, especially as a beginner. What I would say is, when you're just starting out, your two biggest leverage are the time that you put into your agency, and the output of the time that you actually put into your agency, right? Because those two things are not quite similar. When you start scaling, when you start building out your agency, when you start becoming a much more mature entrepreneur, you'll be able to pull other leverages, like, for example, build an incredible team that takes care of the service delivery, build incredible processes and systems that can run on pretty much on autopilot, so that you can pretty much just focus on the high impact activities like signing big clients, right? Etc. etc. But when you're just starting out, your biggest leverages are going to be the time that you put in and the output of work that you get out. And so implementing these three things that I spoke about to get into a flow state and really getting incredible output will really translate into incredible results for your agency, and will allow you to go much faster. And so I hope you guys enjoyed those. If you did, drop a like, it really helps out a ton with the algorithm. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't yet. I'm going to be putting out so much content, especially on SMMA and specifically on sales and outreach, but really a 360 approach to SMMA. But not only that, entrepreneurship, mindset, which are also areas that I'm extremely passionate about. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, I'm putting out quite a lot of content there. That is my username. And lastly, guys, check out the link in the bio. That is a link to my free Facebook group community, the Client Closers. I've capped it at 100 people for now. It's a group of like-minded entrepreneurs scaling their agency and leveling up in life. My mission with this group is to provide 100 times more value than all entrepreneurship, SMMA Facebook groups out there. And so if you want to join that, check out the link in bio. As always, guys, hope your agency journey is going well. I will see you in the next video. Peace.